All right, Pixo Pain, Week 10. Sorry if we're not as energetic as we normally are, because both our teams just killed us today.
I'm just gonna take this shot. So yeah, let's go.
All right, first game first. We both got Indy at Tennessee wrong. I thought it was weird that Tennessee lost this game. The Colts were weirdly aggressive. I thought the Colts actually came to play and played well.
They completely outplayed Tennessee 100%.
Absolutely.
So that's on them for doing that.
It was weird just that it worked, especially because the Titans had a really good drive at the start of the game. It looked like they were going to take control, and then Bupkis. And it was one of those games where it's not necessarily terrible that they lost. The way that they lost was terrible. And that basically revitalized the Colts. They really needed that.
You talking about the blocked punt?
Yeah.
That's basic. That was a nail in the coffin right there.
Pretty much.
I lost the game, so.
Yeah, and then just terrible on the Titans' part. Like I said, it's not necessarily that they lost, but how they lost. And it'll take some work for them. Next game we both got wrong. Seattle and LA. Russell Wilson went from an MVP candidate to looking pretty frickin' pedestrian.
I did not expect this to happen, so.
Neither did I. And the Rams' defense actually came to play. I guess their defense is a little bit better than I gave them credit for.
What's been up with Russell Wilson lately?
I don't know.
He was looking like football Jesus, and now he's looking.
Yeah,
he's throwing a lot of picks.
like it's taken 2 weeks, and now he's like completely out of MVP discussion. Like it's been that bad.
So throwing a lot of picks. A lot of picks. Is it just his O-line? He just doesn't trust it, so he just throws it up or something? Or
I don't know. But what really strikes me as weird with the Seahawks is they have that historically bad defense, sure, but their defense actually held the Rams to 23 points. Like, that should have been enough for the Seahawks. Like, any other game this year, they would have won with that score, but that one's on Wilson. Normally, for their other losses, you can blame at least the defense. Not this one. They got to figure that out. Anything else, Dad?
nope.
God, I'm sad right now. Minnesota and Chicago. Chicago, you went from 5-1 to 5-5. You're in free fall.
You know, we've been saying you're seriously overrated.
Yeah, and I don't like being right about that, but I just never trusted that they were what they were. And sadly, I'm getting validated in that.
How did they start out like 5-1?
I don't know. Luck, mostly.
Probably luck. So.
But what blows my mind is you lost to Kirk Cousins on Monday night. That was his first ever win. That was half the reason I went with the Bears at home originally.
Kirk Cousins was like 0-8 or 0-9 on Monday Night Football. And now he's 1-8 or 1-9.
And it was in Chicago, and the defense made an interception. The special teams had a kickoff return. And your offense was apparently that lethargic. You lost to the Vikings, who only put up 19. You lost to Kirk Cousins on Monday night. This is a nail in the coffin. The Bears are done.
They're done.
They might not win another game this year. You can't lose to Kirk Cousins on Monday night at home with your defense and special teams playing so well.
All it takes is your offense just being so inept to do anything.
Yeah. All right, Baltimore and New England. God, this was another weird one.
It was a weird one.
I'll give the Ravens a little bit of slack. You know, like Jackson played fine, and it's a hard ask to win in a monsoon. But it was kind of just a sloppy game. You didn't expect the Ravens to be behind in the first place. You know, when it's all sloshy like that, you expect them to rely on their run game. And they just couldn't really get it going that day. I don't know what your OC's thinking.
Dude, this OC's pissing me off. He's really bad at, like, situational play calling. Like, if it comes down to a clutch play call, he'll fuck it up.
Yeah.
He's not a bad OC altogether, but when it comes to, like, situational play calling, he's terrible.
Like a jet sweep on fourth and inches. Just something stupid.
Just something stupid. It's just like that. It's just like, okay, that's a good game plan, but when it comes to like a pivotal moment in the game, he falters.
Yeah, and I know the Ravens were dealing with a lot of injuries, but so are the Pats. And that's the thing. I can't even give you guys the
Dude,
injury excuse.
they got even more injured. Like their tight end broke his knee so freaking bad it like popped the other way, and
That and the Pats also had people out for COVID. Like, this was a
Yeah.
game you should not have lost, but you did.
whatever.
It's a terrible loss, but
That was the hardest I've ever seen it rain in a football game. The
Yeah.
last possession ever, dude. It was a complete downpour.
No one
like,
coulda
no
came
one
back.
could have came back
No.
and won that game.
it is
So-
what it is. Caught me by surprise. Props to New England. They had a good game plan. I guess if weather's going their way, they can win, but
Yeah.
they're still, they didn't revitalize their playoff odds, if you ask me. All right, we'll give you a drink. Let's give you, what was it? New York Giants and Philly.
Okay, I'm not too upset about this one because I did say if the Giants won, I'd like it.
Yeah.
Just to throw in an extra, just a monkey wrench in that
Yeah,
division,
yeah.
just to see what happens, and that's exactly what happened.
All the teams have 3 wins by week frickin' 11. It's crazy.
Philadelphia is just, God, they're like so bad.
I don't get what's
Every
wrong with them. Carson Wentz is playing the worst football of his career. Really makes you wonder how the hell he pulled off what he did to put him in the playoffs that other year.
I don't know if it's just a different offense he's in or what. Like he is dealing with like injuries and crap, but like,
Sure.
so are other teams.
Yeah,
dude.
no, I think this is the most injured year ever. And I think if you say, crap, we lost due to injuries, I don't think you can do that with a straight face. Like, everyone's injured. You just lost. Blame something else at least.
There are a lot of injuries this year. Like a lot of teams really. Say the Niners, the Ravens, the Patriots. Like, damn, they're like just hobbling into week 12,
yeah.
dude.
Just goes to show a preseason is important.
Like we barely had enough players to fill for the freaking Titans game today.
And that's going to be a fucking hard one next week, too. I know my heart's just... It's going to be bleeding all week, man. Man. All right, I'll take a shot on this one. My last one, so only 5 wrong on the week. Washington and Detroit. I was almost right. They came back from 24-3. But a 59-yard Matt Prater field goal set up by a dumbass penalty will doom the Skins, or I guess the name redacteds, or the football team, or whatever the hell you want to call them.
You know, they're thinking about keeping that
Are
permanent.
you kidding me?
I think that is just a dumb.
God, no.
Dumb. That's like a 1-year rental, man. Like,
Yeah,
think
pretty
of
much.
something else.
I kind of figured no one would ever buy anything with, like, the W on it. Like, why would you?
Washington football team.
That's so dumb. I'd rather just have a new team entirely rather than
Was it just like the George Floyd thing that just sparked something different that made them change their name?
I
or
have
something?
no idea, but
Like,
I
why
do
did-
not want to broach the race stuff. Not this week.
But seriously, like, why were they forced into doing this? Like, they could have done this a long time ago because the name is it's a little racist.
It
but
was, yeah.
why, like, now when you have no option to replace it?
I do not know, but just please don't keep that as the name.
Please, just pick something else.
Pay the guy that trademarked all the names. Like, for God's sake, just something else. But, Wash didn't look good at all in this game. They came back, but give it to the Lions. They can win against bad teams. Good for them. I don't really know what else to say about this. It was a game the Lions almost choked away. This was the Lions' first home game win in like 18 games, which goes back like 3 years or
Jesus
2 years.
Christ.
It was
That is
it was
horrible.
an active running streak. 18's
Wow.
probably too much, but Detroit was just abysmal at home. And they pulled it off. That's why I expected Wash to win. I was almost right. Had it went to overtime, I think they had it. Alex Smith played well, but hey, that's how it be. And your final shot, so you had 6 on the week, was one that made me happy. Buffalo and Arizona.
Yep, Arizona went off of a last second.
Hail Mary.
I mean, the Bills had the entire they had them dead to rights.
Oh, yeah,
they had the game won.
You score with 34 seconds left. That's a death knell.
It's
normally.
just DeAndre Hopkins is just a receiving Jesus, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much. He was in triple coverage. I'm surprised Murray even got out of that. He ran 30 yards within a span of behind the line. It was crazy. There's no reason it should have happened, and it kind of takes away from the rest of the game because Bills should have won. I mean,
Yeah.
they were the better team that day.
Just not on the last play of the game.
Yeah, pretty much, and sometimes that's all it takes. I'm happy as hell they won. It put the Dolphins in a great spot to, potentially take the division, but unfortunately we decided to make this video on a Sunday when our hearts would be broken, so I would have been so excited had we made this video last night. But that's how it goes
I
sometimes.
did pick the Titans, so whatever. Guess I don't have to take a shot for that one.
Let's go through the other games. Houston and Cleveland. You're right about that, but I'm starting to think Cleveland's got a bit of a Chicago Bears thing going on.
I think they're a little overrated.
A little bit overrated. I
overrated,
think they're like the rest of the AFC North, preying on the AFC South and the NFC East. Straight
to
up.
get in, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they'll be a playoff team if they can keep this up. I kind of expect them to not keep it up, though. I mean, granted, this was a weather game. It was hard fought, and hell, Nick Chubb basically put the game on his back to win. He even made that sacrifice at the end, didn't get the points. But, I don't fear the Browns. I don't get what's going on here.
They're mediocre. I'd say they're not bad, but they're not one of the good teams. They're just
right.
Whatever.
I mean, granted,
Right in the
weather. Weather is a big factor of this game, but you beat the Texans by 3 points, 10 points if you include the Nick Chubb run. That's kind of sad, honestly. It's just, that's now 2 games this year. The Browns have 4 games. Yeah, 4 games this year. The Browns have scored under 13 points, and it's a little bit weird.
And won.
Yeah.
They won only scoring that much.
It's 1 scoring 10 points.
So
crazy. Jacksonville, Green Bay. Jacksonville fought this one tooth and frickin' nail.
They did. They almost beat Green Bay, too.
They arguably should have. But again, a weather game. And at least Aaron Rodgers had just enough of magic to pull it out.
To barely beat the Jags. If only the Jags could beat the Steelers next week.
Honestly,
Nope.
They didn't even come close.
Yeah.
But honestly, given how bad Green Bay performed, I kind of just figured it was an off game for them, a trap. But based on what we now know, I guess not. I guess I should have picked the Colts over them.
Yeah.
This is the type of game where even though you win, you shouldn't feel too happy. And I think the Packers should be scared for the rest of the year. Hell, if they play like they played during this game, I doubt they even take the division. That bad. Granted, it's a terrible division, but,
It's a bad division. They should still be able to win.
I know, but I'm saying, they shouldn't assume it's a certainty for how bad
Who's
that
going to
was.
take it from them, though?
I don't know.
Seriously,
I would have said the Vikings, but they're
Vikings?
crap now, too. So this has been a
Detroit?
terrible week. I hate this week.
The Lions? Are they going to take the division from them?
All right, moving on. Tampa Bay at Carolina. All right. The game happened the way I figured. Figured Tampa Bay would bounce back after getting embarrassed.
They did.
First half was competitive. They did fine. The Panthers did. And then they fell the fuck apart. Terribly. Even gave up a franchise record 98-yard touchdown run to really, really seal how bad the game went after the half. I really don't know what else to say about it. I think Teddy Bridgewater was a good move for the Panthers. I think he can work in the future. The Panthers got a lot more problems than
It's more than just quarterback. Dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
It goes beyond that.
Oh, way beyond. Teddy Bridgewater has not been a problem for them at all. I think this is kind of like coaching, you gave away Riverboat Ron, and you can tell they're struggling. I think they should have just kept with him, honestly.
They should have. Whatever. All right.
Yeah, move on. Denver at Las Vegas. God, I don't really want to talk about this one much. You handle it.
The Raiders are just better than the Broncos. That's it.
Strong defense performance. That's all it took. Man, imagine not beating the Broncos even with a good defense.
Is that the last game?
Damn it.
Is that the last game?
Not yet.
Let's just get this over with.
Yeah, Chargers at Miami. I was very happy over this one. It was a strong, good game. It was, like I said, it would be the worst loss the Chargers had all year. I was right in that. Good defense, good offense. Couple mistakes on Tua's part. Kind of should have made me think he wasn't infallible, but I got cocky. But yeah, good game by the Dolphins. It'd really suck if they lost the next week.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and San Fran at New Orleans. New Orleans did what it needed to do. Drew Brees got injured, sadly, but
Taysom Hill looks fine, so whatever.
they'll survive.
They'll live.
Your heart's not in this right now either. This was a rough day.
I don't care. It was a rough day.
Oh, God. And I think lastly, Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. I mean, we didn't figure Pittsburgh would lose. We just thought it'd be funny, but Pittsburgh clapped the Bengals and really, even without Joe Burrow. God damn it. Stupid fucking Bengals.
All right. Sorry, Bengals.
Yeah. End it. Fuck.